This video is brought to you by the TLDR store. Support your favourite country, including the EU, Ukraine, and every single EU nation, by picking up our Countries with Shoes pins, and get a free random badge when you buy any two and use code EASTERNFREE. The link is down below. On the 15th of December, the EU and Eastern Partnership countries will meet for a summit in Brussels. But what does this mean? We know the EU, but who are this Eastern Partnership? Well, in this video, we're going to delve into what the Eastern Partnership is exactly, how it came about, and its successes and failures. So let's get into it. The Eastern Partnership is a joint policy initiative of the EU, which aims to deepen and strengthen relations between the European Union, its member states, and its 6 eastern neighbours: Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Georgia, Moldova and Ukraine, therefore encompassing the countries between the EU and Russia. Now, the first thing worth noting is that as of June 2021, Belarus has suspended its participation in the Eastern Partnership. Relations between the EU and Belarus have deteriorated since the controversial election in 2020, the Ryanair flight incident, and the recent border crisis. This has resulted in EU sanctions against the Lukashenko regime, and as retaliation, Lukashenko has suspended Belarus's participation in the Eastern Partnership. And if you want to learn more about any of this, then be sure to check out our videos on the topic. They're linked down below. Anyway, how did the Eastern Partnership come about? Well, the Eastern Partnership is a specific element of the European Neighbourhood Policy. The European Neighbourhood Policy was conceived after the 2004 enlargement of the EU. Its main goal was to bring partner countries closer to the EU through deepened cooperation and integration based on EU values, norms and standards, but without necessarily requiring becoming full members of the EU. For example, the Southern European Neighbourhood Policy covers countries in the Mediterranean and North African area, including Algeria, Egypt, Israel, Jordan, Lebanon, Libya, Morocco, Palestine, Syria, and Tunisia. Many inside the EU held the belief at the time that if there was a neighbourhood policy for the South, then why not one for the East? And this is where the idea of the Eastern Partnership was first dreamt up, back in May 2018, by the foreign ministers of both Sweden and Poland, who felt that the region was being neglected by the EU. Triggered by the events of the Russo-Georgia War in 2008 and its repercussions on the region's stability, the Eastern Partnership was launched by the EU the following year, in May 2009. The Eastern Partnership was created to support political, social and economic reform efforts in these countries, with the aim of increasing democracy, energy security, environmental protection and economic and social developments. It provides an institutionalized forum for discussing visa agreements, free trade deals and strategic partnership agreements with the EU's eastern neighbours. The Eastern Partnership doesn't have its own secretariat, but is directly controlled by the European Commission. And so, all participating countries, except Belarus, send delegations to the Euronest Parliamentary Assembly. This is an interparliamentary group in which members of the European Parliament and national parliaments of the Eastern Partnership countries meet twice a year to participate in committees. So that's the basic outline. The European Partnership was created in the aftermath of the 2008 Russo-Georgian War, and it's about supporting and encouraging democracy and stability by providing a framework for forums and discussion with the EU. But has it worked? Well, to evaluate the partnership, we've got to first look at its aims, and there have been 4 key objectives: economy, society, connectivity, and governance. Let's look at the economy first. Economic and trade links have been substantially strengthened, with the EU now being the #1 trade partner for all European Partnership member states, except Belarus. And the 6 Eastern partner countries together are now the EU's 10th biggest trading partner. And Georgia, Moldova and Ukraine have all signed association agreements and deep and comprehensive free trade agreements. As a result, the number of companies from these countries exporting to the EU has increased significantly since 2015. Georgia by 35%, Moldova by 40%, and Ukraine by 26%. In the other 3 countries, volumes have also increased, by 12% with Armenia, 28% with Azerbaijan, and 16% with Belarus. The EU has also provided over 125,000 loans to SMEs in the area, of which more than 50% were in the local currency to support growth in the region. So, all in all, it looks like the Eastern Partnership has been an economic success. Alright, on to society. And this is obviously harder to measure, but it does seem that social links between the Eastern Partnership countries and the EU have strengthened. Visa-free regimes have been implemented between the EU and Georgia, Ukraine and Moldova. Since 2014, more than 30,000 young people have taken part in school and university exchanges, vocational training and volunteering through the Erasmus programme. With regards to the third component, connectivity, there have been some improvement in transport links and infrastructure under the EU's TEN-T extension scheme, which foresees 4,800 kilometres of new and rehabilitated roads and railways by 2030. And on governance, since 2014, the EU has provided €95 million of support to civil society, reaching out to over 600 civil society organisations. Taking this into account, the European Partnership looks like a roaring success by all 4 metrics. However, it's not without its critics. Firstly, let's be honest, which one of you has actually heard of the Eastern Partnership until you randomly clicked on this video? Well, you're sadly not alone. In the 6 European Partnership countries, less than 5% of the population has even heard of it, while in the EU, it's even lower, at just 1%. Nonetheless, the fact that people don't know about the partnership doesn't mean that it's been a failure. After all, that's the case with most political programmes. There are, however, some substantial criticisms of the partnership. Firstly, many experts don't actually expect any of the 6 countries to join the EU anytime soon. The EU's having enough trouble integrating its current Eastern members like Hungary and Poland, and is unlikely to let someone like Ukraine, larger, more controversial and more corrupt, in any time soon. And without the prospect of membership, the partnership looks a bit more aimless. Secondly, the partnership has been criticised for being too vague. Many claim that the EU has little awareness of what it's trying to promote in its eastern neighbourhood, apart from vague politician speak about shared values, collective norms and joint ownership. This isn't specific to the Eastern Partnership either. The EU is often criticised for its preference for political rhetoric over real action. And finally, it's been criticised for being anti-Russia, mostly by Russia itself, who see it as an interference in Russia's backyard and see it as an attempt to expand the European Union's sphere of influence. Russia's foreign minister criticised the Eastern Partnership as a non-transparent initiative and suggested that the EU should not aim to push Russia out of the region. However, it should be noted that Russia was originally invited by the EU to join the Eastern Partnership, but somewhat unsurprisingly declined. So, to conclude, what do you think the future holds for the Eastern Partnership? Does it even have a future? Had you heard about it before watching this video? And do you think that it's been a success or a failure? As always, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And you can get even more engaged over on our Twitter, where you can give us a follow and vote on our recent poll about the Eastern Partnership. And finally, as I said at the start of the video, for a few more days, if you order any 2 Countries with Shoes pin badges, then you'll get a 3rd random pin absolutely free. It's as easy as that. Buy 2 and get a 3rd random one for free. Don't like the random one we send you? Then give it someone as a Christmas gift. Stick it in someone's backpack without telling them. Attach it to the sole of your shoe to give yourself an extra tap. It's up to you. But the store is linked below, and the code is EasternFree. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified every time we release a new video. Special thanks to our Patreon backers who make videos like this one possible. And if you want to see your name at the end of videos, then you too can back us on Patreon. The link to that is in the description.